Hi, thanks for clicking on my video. I really appreciate it. I love Las Vegas. And the hotel that made me kind of fall in love with going to Las Vegas is the Venetian. So it's absolutely huge and I could never cover it all in just one video, but if you stick around with me, I will try to show you some of what the Venetian could offer you on your next trip to Las Vegas. I dined, I went to the pool, went to the gym, I went to the Sphere, and I'll show you all of that in this video. If you haven't already, please like, please subscribe to my channel. And once again, thanks for clicking on this video. And without further ado, let's take a quick spin around the Venetian. Built on the site of the former Sands Casino, the Venetian is a Venice-themed resort and casino that opened in 1999. It's a luxury resort where all of the rooms are suites, and it is massive. The Venetian itself contains 3,036 rooms, but when taken in conjunction with its Venezia Tower and its sister hotel, the Palazzo, it totals over 7,000 rooms and is the second largest hotel in the world. The theming includes replicas of the Venice Grand Canal, complete with interior and exterior gondola rides, a replica of St. Mark's Square, and a replica of the Rialto Bridge. The front entrance along the Las Vegas Strip is a replica of the Doge's Palace. The interior is highly ornate and even includes replica Renaissance paintings on the ceiling. A more modern addition is the Sphere, also called the Sphere at Venetian Resort. And it was not originally built to be part of the Venetian, but now it's solidly in the fold. It is an 18,000-seat futuristic arena hosting concerts and movies, and during this stay I saw Postcards from Earth by Darren Aronofsky, but more on that later. The Venetian is consistently rated one of the top resorts in Las Vegas and contains everything you would ever want in a resort and casino. I hope you've enjoyed this spin around the Venetian. On this trip, I stayed in a Luxury King suite with a strip view, and I think that calls for a quick look at that room. That calls for a slower look at that room. So we will start in the bathroom, which is quite large at 130 square feet. Very opulent and luxurious bathroom. Nice sitting area to put on your makeup. And it's got everything you would ever possibly want out of a bathroom, like a soaking tub and a very nice walk-in shower. Lots of marble, very nice. Aromatherapy products with which to slather yourself, so that's all well and good. The room itself is also quite large at 650 square feet. That does include the bathroom. And looking at the rate calendar, it doesn't seem to matter that much whether it's a weekday or weekend, as I saw some weekdays that were actually more expensive than the weekend. So I think it matters more on the season and on demand. There is a $45 resort fee to stay at the Venetian. The bed was very comfortable. I slept great. It was really, really nice. There is a sunken living room, which I believe is what makes this a suite, as it is technically two different rooms. But lots of places to sit, lots of room, plenty of room to put your stuff. There is a little work area in the corner if anybody actually tries to work while they're in Las Vegas. Don't know anybody who does that. And it's got all the normal things that you would expect, like a safe in the closet and the normal accoutrement of a room of this caliber. It does have a well-appointed minibar, though this stuff is expensive, and for me that's a no-touchy. But there are also some snacks up above and some expensive waters. I do check the room with a black light for bugs and for splatters. This room was super clean, very well maintained, very nice. This room was sold as a Sphere view room, so as you can see from my view, you could see the Sphere from there actually quite well. And while I was viewing the Sphere, it was suggesting to me that I go and see Darren Aronofsky's Postcards from Planet Earth, Postcard from Earth, I guess it's what it's called. So the next day I went there, went to the Sphere, and you can talk to an AI robot there, ask her all kinds of questions, which she will answer, like when are AI robots planning on taking over the Earth? But the place is very futuristic and clearly a sign of things to come for theaters in the future. Very nice, very cool. There are some dining and drinking options there. Also some very serious escalators, so if you have a fear of heights, you may not love these escalators as they are very high. But as I said, the place is definitely futuristic and very cool. This was the most expensive movie I've ever gone to see in my life, I paid $70 to get in there to see it. It's an 18,000 seat arena, and of course they are now hosting all kinds of music shows, concerts. The movie was great. I really enjoyed this particular venue. It was a great experience. If you are averse to an environmental global warming message, you may not enjoy it, however. There are more places to eat at the Venetian than you can shake a stick at. So many different places. You could never eat at all of them. I can't even mention all of them, but here are a few between the canal shops and the Venetian itself and Restaurant Row. I started off at Brera Osteria for happy hour. Has a really good happy hour, and started off with a really nice cocktail, which I enjoyed, though that was full price. That wasn't happy hour. And had a really nice pizza, which was good. The food here is really, really good. The happy hour is very good. I definitely recommend it. Had some beef tartare, which was also very good. Enjoyed that very much. And a little bit of charred cauliflower. Delicious. For dinner that night, I went to Bouchon, Thomas Keller's French bistro. And boy, it really felt like a French bistro. It really looks like you're in France, and a lot of attention to detail. This is a great restaurant, which I also highly recommend. I sat outside on their patio, which is both casual and elegant at the same time. Really cool. And they give you this great baguette and some pistachio nuts to just kind of munch on while you're looking at the menu and trying to decide. I love the classics, so I had a French onion soup, which was amazing. Absolutely loved it. Then I moved on to this chicken, which was awesome. It was so delicious. This is one of the best pieces of chicken I've ever had. I highly recommend this restaurant. And I was stuffed, so my server suggested I just have a single profiterole, which was the perfect amount of dessert. Love this place, highly recommend. For breakfast the next day I went to Sugar Cane, which is in Restaurant Row. And it's kind of a cool looking place. I love the ceiling fans in there. Had a pretty standard breakfast, eggs and sausage. Yeah, it was expensive, but it's the Venetian and it was very good. Definitely enjoyed it. For lunch that day, I went to Estatiatorio Milos, which is a great restaurant that I've eaten at a few times. It's a really pretty Greek restaurant, and it's very seafood centric, so everything's really fresh. You can choose your fish if you want. Very light, airy place, and the food is really good there. They have a 3-course $45 lunch special, so I opted for that and got some really nice Greek wine. Got this great tomato salad with feta cheese, was absolutely delicious. Yeah, they cut fresh herbs right into your olive oil. Very good restaurant. The main course was this whole fish, which was displayed very well with capers and lemon. Really nice presentation. It was absolutely delicious. And for dessert, I had baklava, which I love, and the ice cream was really good with it too. Then for dinner that night, I went a little more casual. I went to Yardbird, which is in Restaurant Row, highly touted. Casual, sat at the bar, had a beer, and I like Southern food. Went for the shrimp and grits, which was very delicious, very filling, and I love, love, love fried okra, so I had some of that. Awesome, super delicious, another highly recommend. There are 3 pool decks at the Venetian pool deck, the Palazzo pool deck, and the Venezia Tower pool deck, which is up on the 6th floor. All of them have a very upscale and tranquil vibe. The pools over at the Venetian are a little bit smaller, and at least one of them is an infinity edge pool, maybe two, but everything seems to be a little bit more crammed together at this side, in my opinion. If you want to head over to the Palazzo pool deck, you just go through this nice little walkway, and the pools over at the Palazzo deck seem to be a little bit bigger. It gets a little bit more sun for more of the day, so I always tend to gravitate towards the Palazzo side the few times that I've stayed over here, but it's also very upscale, very nice. There's a choice of different kinds of areas that you want, if you want sunshine or if you want shade. But everything's really beautiful, and you have a nice choice of different areas where you can hang out. The third pool deck is the Venezia Tower, where the pools are much smaller. There are only 3 pools, and not a lot of people know about this area, so it's definitely the quietest of the 3, but also very pretty, has a nice garden vibe. And this is where you're going to get the most shade because it is surrounded by tall buildings. So if you want to stay out of that hot Las Vegas sun, this could be a really good option for you. The gym has a climbing wall, which is certainly unique. And the gym itself is well equipped. It's pretty big. It's got lots of equipment, lots of room to spread out. Maybe not so big when you consider how big the Venetian is, but there's lots of cardio equipment, plenty of area to stretch and get your workout on. Yeah, it's really quite nice. The casino at the Venetian is huge at 120,000 square feet. There is a smaller casino over at the Palazzo if you want to walk over there, but the Venetian really has it all. But just don't expect any cheap table minimums here, as, well, it's the Venetian, and there's nothing really cheap over here. The Venetian also does have a pretty decent sports book. Also, the Venetian has just opened up a new poker room, which has happened since this stay, so I don't have any footage of it, but I hear it's very nice. It's on the 2nd floor on the Palazzo side of the Grand Canal shops. So if you're a poker player, it seems like Venetian is definitely up in their game for all of you. So who's going to want to stay there? Pretty much anyone who doesn't mind dropping a little bit of money on their Vegas vacation, because it's the Venetian, it's not cheap, and that's why I don't stay there every single trip, because it's not that cheap. And let's face it, a Las Vegas vacation, or any vacation for that matter, is about transporting yourself away from your everyday life. The Venetian definitely does that. It's so luxurious and just beautiful. It really does kind of transport you away. The dining is great, like I mentioned. Although there are some ways to save a little bit of cash. I didn't really highlight the food court, but they have one if you want to dine a little bit cheaper than I did. Also, there's a Walgreens next door. If you want to get water and drinks and snacks for a little bit cheaper, you can do that. If you're into shopping, there's tons and tons of shopping. The pools are really nice. Everything is just luxurious and opulent and beautiful, and it's a great resort. I definitely would highly recommend it, assuming you've got the money to drop on the place. One question I have for everybody out there, there's no question that the rooms are sweet, but are they suites? Is just the fact that the living room is sunken, does that make it a suite? Please leave me a comment down below on your thoughts whether or not that makes it a suite. In my mind, a suite has a door between the 2 rooms, something like the Delano, so that, you know, if somebody's going to the bathroom in the middle of the night, they're going to the bathroom on their side of the door and they don't disturb the other person. So leave me a comment, tell me what you think. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for hanging in with me this long, and have a great time on your next trip to Vegas. Ciao.